Welcome back to the World Trading Tournament podcast, where traders meet ideas, inspiration, and a whole lot of strategy. Today, we have a special guest. Many of you might know as Dr. S&R. Brian has made a name for himself by using price, and his strategy is support and resistance. Today, we are deep diving into his mindset and his philosophy regarding trading, and it's more needed in a competitive trading world in competitions like the World Trading Tournament. Thank you for joining us today, Brian. I would like to ask you, starting off, how did the name Dr. S&R come to life?
Okay, it's quite a funny story because that few years ago we had an internet competition about trading, and that time my only strategy that I used was SNR. So I was like, I don't know what name to put, so at the end I put it as Doctor SNR.
That's perfect. So, what does SNR stand for? Where did this SNR come from?
Okay, SNR is come from my strategy support and resistance, and it is my only strategy that I use for the past few years.
Oh, perfect. So you have been consistent with that strategy. I will come back to that later. But I would like to ask you, sorry, where and when did your journey of trading begin, and how did you find the strategy of support and resistance?
Okay, I am 23 this year. So I started my trading journey when I was 17. So it's almost like 6 years ago. And after that, when I just started into this journey, I tried out different strategies and I found out that support and resistance are the clearest thing for me to do trading.
Perfect. So you're only 23 and you have done such success in such a short time. In 5 years' time, you have been consistent. So many traders jump from strategy to another. How did you find your path in one strategy only, if you can elaborate on that?
Previously, I used like different strategies, like I use like different indicators, different style of tradings. Okay, but I found out that support and resistance are the most comfortable for me because I feel like I don't really like to see a lot of things in my chart, and I feel like it's most comfortable when for me to do analysis.
You often post clean and good charts regarding trading. Why do you think simplicity is so powerful in trading?
Okay, when in my opinion, when we use a lot of indicators, there will be like a lot of colors, a lot of things in my chart. Okay, so I don't feel really comfortable because every each of the indicators giving me different directions. So that's why I feel like it's more comfortable when for me when I use the naked chart.
So indicators are a bit confusing for your chart, so you like to see it more clearly and
Yep.
unchattered,
Yeah.
is what you're trying to say, is
Yeah.
how I understood it.
Yeah.
So for me, as a trader personally, I would like to use more indicators for me to understand the chart and actually help me find the best strategy.
Mm.
But on the other hand, on your end, it is more on the clearer end. How do you recognize the candles, or how do you understand the candles when it is so clear?
Okay, normally, I would say that it will based on my experience. Okay, because I really depends on price action and chart patterns as well, except for support resistance. So these are my combination for my charts that I will use support resistance. That I will look at the candlestick patterns.
Do you adapt also the S&R strategy when during events or high news that can affect your strategy? Do you also use it at those times as well?
Uh, Normally, if the market is too volatile at the moment, I would normally ignore it. Okay, but I will trade in a less volatile moment to open my trades.
And many of us know that fear and greed
Yeah.
affect traders' mindset. And many traders nowadays, whether they're professional traders or even beginner traders, that fear and greed affect them. Have you ever felt that way in any trade that you have opened?
For me, in the first few years that I do trading, I often did that mistakes. Very honest. I often did that mistake. But for me, it's about that experience that will cause you like you feel like you have been losing so much in this fear and greed. So at the end, eventually you just start to like tuning it to a normal mindset.
Great. How about greed? Or when do you use your stop loss, and how do you use what is the mindset that you use going into a trade?
Okay, for me, I treat trading like a business.
Okay.
Okay, so if this trade I will lose more than I earn, so I won't enter. So it's about the risk and reward.
All right, perfect. That's a great way for you to enter a trade. For tournaments and people who would like to join the World Trading Tournament, what is a piece of advice that you can give them in order for them to be the winners of the $1 million or to be the first runner up? Do you recommend them to go with a strategy such as support and resistance?
For me personally, I feel like it's fine for you to use SNR, support resistance. But one thing is, when you are doing a competition in a short period, you need to be very patient as well. Because some people, okay, the psychology might mess up, because when you are in a short period competition, you might enter the trade even though that's without any confirmation.
That's great advice. So, if you were a coach to be in the World Trading Tournament today, what would you tell your student, or habits that they might build up, or mindset that they have to have in mind in order to earn a competition as big as the World Trading Tournament?
For me, the habits for you to do trading, no matter is your technical analysis or your psychology, I feel like it's more towards to patience. Okay, you need to have patience when you do trading, and also you need to accept the loss when you are facing an opposite direction. Because I feel like a lot of traders that they cannot accept loss, and the end they will like revenging on the market.
Yes, yes, I totally agree with you. Many traders actually blame others rather than themselves for the losses that they make, but then when it comes to winning, they take that reward to themselves and only themselves. But often we see that mistake when they are getting or losing some amount of money. They go like, it is not my fault, it is the mentor that has told me so, or it is the community that I am in. Talking of which, you know that the World Trading Tournament is not just a competition, it is also a community based. How does that help to evolve a trader's personality when it's in a community based structure?
I feel like if you are good to do sharing with your like community mates, okay, so it's more better because everyone can improve together. But if you are a selfish person that you keep blaming, or you just keep taking the I mean like the compliments only, this will help you a lot. You
but
won't go
don't
for
you, but don't you think that is quite the human nature that we are living in today, especially what we have been going through in life? Many people like to take compliments just for themselves, and when it comes for blames, they all keep on throwing it to others. Yeah, but community based helps you elevate. It helps you understand trading. It helps you compete and have that sense where you want to become the first runner and you want to get sense of achievement, because the World Trading Tournament offers you fame, it offers you a name, and also it offers you some cash rewards. So, being in such a tournament or being in such a community, what would you like to tell the audience that not really or hesitant about joining a tournament like the World Trading Tournament? What
Mm,
is a piece of advice, or what is something that you would tell them to break the fear of I'm not good enough, I might not be able to win, or I'm not the person fit to be in such a competition?
okay, for my experience, I got few friends also have the same mindset as what you said. Okay, but what advice I will give is, actually when you are joining a competition, it will actually force you to become better. It will force you to become better traders, and also there's a lot of traders we are trading in WTT. So it will like you have a lot of different information from other people. So actually it will boost up your trading skill actually.
I totally believe so, because when you're trading on your own behind the screen, you don't really get to feel that sense of action or that sense of belonging somewhere, where the World Trading Tournament definitely offers that. But you have been building such a loyal following environment in your Instagram page. How did you grow it in such a I cannot say it's a short period of time, because it took you 5 years. You started at the age of 17, today you're 23, and you have been building that since you started, I believe. But many traders and many of your loyal followers look up to you as someone who can guide them through not many strategies, one strategy and many advices, as I can say. How did you build that?
For me, at the beginning when I just started trading, I started to post some profits and some strategies, and somehow I managed to send up some analysis for my support resistance on my Instagram. So basically it just went higher and higher for my followers.
How do you balance education and trading? How do you balance between both when you are a trader yourself and also you're an educator? How do you balance that life between education and trading?
For me, currently at this moment, I focus more on education than my personal trading because I don't really spend time on analyzing the market because uh it's like a homework. Okay, I did it at night. So the next day, eventually I will just follow my trend, follow my trades. So I don't really spend time on looking at my trade. I just set my take profit and stop loss and I'll just do my education.
I truly respect that because you're a man who shows up every day. I will not take so long of your time. I just have a couple of more questions before we finish up our session for today. Any upcoming projects or ideas that you're excited to share with your community that you haven't published on your Instagram, maybe, or that you have published and maybe not have focused on?
Okay. So the upcoming program that might be, I will focus the program on based on tariff. Okay, based on the Donald Trump's tariff recently, and make it a program, make it a special class to teach them how to trade using fundamentals. Okay, and also I will try to make as much people as I can to join WTT and let's win something together.
Definitely. I think we're all going to be winners, but just by joining not only cash prizes, but also networking events and also getting to understand the market better. But you got me curious on the tariffs that you have just mentioned, because as you know, many of us got affected by the tariffs, and many traders have lost a lot of money. You can say on XAU, and you can say on many other trades, and especially people who are trading in commodities and as well as stocks. Stock
Yep.
market was red for a
Yep.
couple of days, weeks. So how could you tell or advise a trader that is listening to us today to avoid such losses with such tariffs?
Okay. So I've been started trading since Donald Trump era, which is 2019. That time he was still the president of US. So for me, the experience told me that actually when you are doing fundamental trading, you need to understand the president first. You always need to understand what Donald Trump are trying to do. Because we all know
You cannot predict Donald Trump.
we cannot predict it. He suddenly will have a U-turn or something.
Exactly.
Like for example, the tariff. It's a 90-day postponed right now. So that's why you need to understand Donald Trump first.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think he's a difficult man to understand.
Yeah. So you need to have more focus on what he's trying to say
Yes.
and try to think his next step.
Definitely. Well, he's unpredictable, as we said, but for those who are looking up to you and want to become content creators like yourself, what is a piece of advice that you can give them to boost their content creation?
For me, the first thing is be creative and also stay consistent.
Any type of videos or shorts that you recommend for the fellows that are in the trading aspect and want to become content creators in the trading aspect?
For the easiest part, I think that we can actually try posting analysis video first. So you can just show them what's your strategy and try to build up your follower first.
Definitely. You need to, everywhere you need to build up a community. Well, I think those are all my questions for today. And thank you so much for being part of the World Trading Tournament podcast, Bryan. And for those many of you who don't know him, he goes by the name of Dr. S&R, and you can find him on Instagram by that name. For more and exclusive one strategy, which is support and resistance, you can always learn more and understand about Bryan's mindset and how he builds his education community alongside his trading skills and environment. Thank you so much for coming today, Bryan. It was a pleasure having you, and I'm looking forward to seeing your content and seeing you grow more and more. Thank you, Bryan.
Okay. Thank you for inviting.
Of course, sir. Thank you. Have a good one.